This is a Gathering Heritage project interview recorded in County Louth in Ireland.
Now, I'm delighted to welcome to our Gathering Heritage project Sergeant Riccardo Lucchesi. Why did you join the army and what possessed you to? Because there was very few people joining the army around that time, wasn't there?
Well, contrary to that, actually, Harry, there was quite a lot of us joined. I joined straight out of school in 1985. I was just turned 18. I suppose by the time I turned 16, I was looking at a career in the army. I was at the Morris, and I was going to really consider some sort of career in journalism or writing, because I had a gift at the time for writing. But the army appealed to me. There's a friend of mine, Raymond Clark, whose father, Frau, had been a sergeant here. I was always asking about the army, and he wasn't long after returning from South Lebanon. It was something that appealed to me. And of course, I joined the FCA in November 1984.
Was that a good training to get used to?
For sure, yeah, for sure. Anybody who was kind of keen or into military, the FCA was very good training ground initially for us. So there was an awful lot of my peers, my friends, joined the FCA, and an awful lot of us from that particular recruit platoon in the FCA made the leap to come into the regular army.
Can you answer? Is the FCA still going?
The FCA is still going, but it's now called the Army Reserve. And as opposed to being a separate battalion, they're now part of the 27 Battalion, or whatever battalion they belong to within the army. But, and going back to that, a number of my friends came into the regular army, myself, Raymond Clark, as I mentioned earlier, and Pat Sloan. If you remember Pat, his father, Matt Sloan, at the Century Bar. So the three of us were tight, and the three of us joined together back in November 1985. And I'm still here.
And where did you go to immediately? Can you remember leaving your house the first morning to join?
Of course. Now, we initially joined our recruit training here in Aiken Barracks, or Dundalk Military Barracks at the time. And I remember thinking, now this is it. This is not playing a game anymore. This is the real thing. So we came in on a Thursday, I think, and to acclimatise, to get uniforms and kit. We were sent home the weekend and told to return back on Sunday night. And we all came in all eager, all fresh-faced. I think the youngest was Pat Sloan. He was 17. And the eldest of the whole platoon was another guy who'd already been in the army and come back out. So we were very young men, I suppose, or youngsters. And kids, if you look back on it when you think about it. But we all came together back in November 1985 into Dundalk here. We trained here.
Is it normal for you to be sent to the hometown, or normally away?
It depends. The army is changing, of course, but at the time there was a big recruiting drive here, and we were recruited for the 27 Battalion to serve within the 27 Battalion, either Dundalk or Gormanstown or Castleblayney at the time. But we done a 6-month recruit training here, and I remember thinking that when I left school, as we all did, I remember I just done my leaving cert the previous June, so this is a couple of months later. And I'd been working with my dad in a restaurant in Newry at the time, in a chip shop, and thinking, what am I going to do in my future? Am I going to go to Italy? I'll see if I get into the army, what happens. So when I left school, I said, that's it. Nobody's going to ever tell me what to do again. I'm my own man. Nobody's going to ever to watch me making my own way in life.
Listen to the full interview on www.gatheringheritage.com.